Shaylee for being here. Appreciate you guys. Recognizing our elected officials. I'm looking around the room. See Dave Carmichael, Commissioner-elect, Post 1. Great to have you here. Any of the elected officials I'm missing in the room? Thank you all for being here. Under number 1, new business, discuss action to adopt resolution 1221 setting millage rates for the state of Georgia. That was a problem.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have quite a few of these today, and the first one is the state of Georgia's, and it comes to us from the state, and they are reducing the millage rate from 0.25 to 0.2. And basically, they said it, they ask you to levy the tax in Paulding. It is statewide, and that's the gist of the resolution that's before you.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 2, discuss action to adopt resolution 12-22 setting millage rates for the Paulding County School Board.
This is another similar resolution. The school board actually requests their millage rate, and they've done that. They've passed it, and they've issued a letter to you all asking you to levy the tax because you're the tax levying authority. And it's in the amount of 18.909, no change from last year.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 3, discuss action to adopt resolution 12-23, authorizing the tax commissioner to retain 2.5% fee for collecting school tax.
This is not exactly the same type resolution as millage rate, but it does allow, as you know, when you pay your property taxes, you'll pay Tax Commissioner Bill Watson, and he will remit those funds to the different agencies. The state allows him to retain 2.5%, up to 2.5% for collecting those taxes. There's a requirement that you pass the resolution authorizing him to do so.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 4, discuss action to adopt resolution 12-24 setting millage rate for the county bond.
Okay, this is a resolution, again, to set the millage rate for the county bond or the outstanding debt issues. And we are actually rolling back this millage rate to the 2.054, so it's going from 1.87 to 2.054. As you know, the debt doesn't, as the levy declines, the debt payments don't decline, they stay the same. So you're required to collect the amount required to pay that debt, and that's what this does.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
4-1. Number 5, discuss action to adopt resolution 12-25 setting millage rate for the fire district.
Okay, this is, again, a millage rate resolution. We had quite a bit of discussion a few months ago about the fire department, and this millage rate is set to fund the operations of the fire department, the day-to-day. They also are allowed to make purchases with SPLOST for their capital purchases, but this funds their daily operations. And as you know, with the levy, with the digest declining, we were collecting less, and we have gone in and used some of our fund balance, and this increase actually restores us to collecting back again what we need to operate the fire department. And it's going from 2.0 to 3.1.
And the people voted to have a village top on that by what?
5. It's up to 5.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and second. Any
I got
a comment.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just like to make a comment that this is based on recommendations from both fire chief and the fire advisory board. What they have done is looked at the next 5 years, what's going to be necessary to continue working and reducing our ISO ratings, which reduces your insurance. This reestablishes, as Tabitha said, the income back to the level that was back when the two millage rates or 2 mills was set. It's slightly above, but it will fund the operation of the fire department for the next 5 years. It will allow the hiring of 21 firemen, which they can staff the additional stations that they have planned.
This, Mr. Chairman, this millage rate started off at 2, it's never been changed, right?
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. We've had our discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 6, discuss action to adopt resolution 12-26, setting millage rates for the county.
Okay, this is again the millage rate for the maintenance and operations of the county. We have gone through numerous discussions over the past couple of years because of the decline in the digest. And this restores a little bit of that. What it actually does is brings us to what we collect, the same collections as last year. So we still have a decline because we began in '08 with a decline in values, but this allows us to collect the same amount that we collected in 2011. And it's going from 7.6 to 8.29.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a couple of comments. One is, Ms. Pollard provided us a sheet that lays out the net tax levy or revenue that is from property tax. And as you can see, that in 2008, even with I believe it was a 6.5 millage rate, we collected $27,960,000. Even under this proposal, we'll be collecting $23,135,000, which, even with Paulding County math, that adds up to about a $4,800,000 decrease in property tax revenue that we're working with in the county. And you wonder, how did all of that occur? Just to go through some things, that in 2008, there were 10,113 vacant lots. The average value, and this information comes from our tax assessor's office, the average value of those lots was $46,000, okay? That gives you a total market value, not the assessed value, but the total market value of $465 million. In 2012, there's 9,013 lots, so we've used 1,100 lots in 4 years. The average value is $4,900. That gives you a value of $44 million. That is a loss of $421 million in value. That's a lost revenue to the county in property tax of $1 million. In homes, in 2008, there were 46,456 single-family residents in Paulding County. Okay, the average market value of all those homes was $149,000, and I'm reading this, she didn't have it. With $129,750. Today, in 2012, there are 47,717 homes. That's the 1,100 lots that got converted. The average value of those homes is $76,000. That's a lost value to the citizens of Paulding County of their homes of $53,400. That's an overall lost market value, and this number is with a B, not an M. And that is $2 $1,384,473,000 in lost residential property value. That equates to a lost revenue to property tax of $3,591,000 per year. In other words, that's why we have had to reduce the budget from $62 million to what is proposed today to $50 million. That's why we've had furlough days. That's why the officers are understaffed. There are 9 positions, even though people say that the sheriff's department's not taking furlough days, but there's 9 positions in the sheriff's department that are unfunded because he doesn't have the money to fund them. Okay? What this millage rate proposal does, it starts to reestablish the services to Paulding County. I talked to a gentleman yesterday, and he wondered why the sheriff's department can't call or enforce the local ordinances, such as Nora's ordinance and things of that nature. Is because he doesn't have the staff and manpower to do it because we don't have the money. In other words, we're conscious of what you need. There are a lot of issues out here, and we got in this mess not in 1 year, and it didn't happen in '08. It happened from years ago of enormous growth in property values and all that time, and we're stuck with it. But when you're having an emergency and you call 911, you want a deputy to come. When you call 911 because your house on fire, you want the fire department to come. When you have holes in your road, you want somebody to come. When you have a stray animal in your neighborhood, you want somebody to come. And it takes money to do those things. And these changes affect me just as well as they do you. They affect my family. Anyway, I get mine done. Bottom line, it's a needed thing.
Any other discussion? There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
1 nay. Passes 4-1. Number 7, discuss action to adopt the budget for fiscal year 2013. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just say one thing. I would like, of course, we just passed the fire tax. I support the fire department. I support the sheriff's department. As a small business owner, I feel like there's certain things that you do when you're running a business. And I don't feel like you can have furlough days and give raises. Furlough day to me means that you don't have enough money to pay everybody all the time. So therefore you ask them to take 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 days off a year. When you give a raise and you still have furloughs, you're just basically saying, well, we don't have money to pay you all the time, but we're giving you a raise. So I don't want anybody in this room or anybody in the public, because I've had some phone calls, to think that I do not support the fire department or the sheriff's department. I completely support, and we just passed the millage rate on the fire tax, which the citizens approved, up to 5 mills, and that needed to be done. It should have been done last year. However, in this budget, for us to carry on furlough days and continue to close this building and to close the government in one hand, and in the other hand to say we're going to give a pay raise, which if you really figure the numbers, the pay raise would equal us getting rid of furlough days. I think there's an order that you do things in when things are going bad, the economy. When you try to get back to where you would like to be, I think there's an order in the way you do it. I think that order should have been first to get rid of furlough days, and then look at what we can do in the future with pay raises, because now we're still stuck with furlough days and we've still got to adjust those. So the same amount of money that raises are going to cost us is going to cost us in the future to get rid of those furlough days. I feel like the public should have the building open, and I feel like all of us should be at work, and that would have gotten you pretty much within reason the same raise. So I want you to understand I support the fire, I support the sheriff's department, but I'm also a small business owner, and I think there's things that you do in certain orders, and so I hope you understand my vote.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Passes 4, and hear a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Second. Motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
Okay.
Brother Joe, always.
Joe, you went ahead and you did She's in there. Bill, watch this.
Tell you what, Tom, this is before you came out.
Come on, tell me.
Yes, sir.